all things Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. I'm a retired Social Security Administration district manager. I've helped millions of people out with all the government bureaucracy, navigating the government bureaucracy. So if you have any questions, jump on in. But I'm just going to sit here, and I'm also answering questions on a YouTube premiere video that's coming out. It's second part of the series. Also former United States Marine. It's an American flag, not a Confederate flag. Get my Marine Corps cup around here somewhere. All right. Set of kind of questions. It's the first time doing YouTube premiere live. It doesn't look like it's any different than the normal thing. So if you got any influencers out there that want to give me a hand, tech type people, always looking for help. I'm terrible at all the tech type stuff. Hey Marianne, how's it going? So there's millions, there's what, 70 million people receiving Social Security benefits. And my #1 video that I've made so far, I've made close to a couple of hundred videos, and they've all only got a few hundred views, or some of them 10,000, 20,000, but there's one that's got 300,000. Yeah, I from my personal experience working in the government, working at Social Security for a few decades, I know at least half of the 70 million people out there need the information, need help, and so I like to get my videos out to the other millions out there. All right, I got a question here on YouTube. How can I find out if my minimum essential coverage at work will qualify as credible coverage so I don't have to pay Part B penalty when I do stop work? Yeah, you can call your HR, Medicare. Usually they do. It's the employer plans. If your employer has 20 employees or more, it usually covers. It's those ACA plans sometimes. Those are the ones that some employers give, like the unbelievably just pretty much nothing in terms of coverage, and those are usually not credible coverage. But most of the employer plans, in terms of Medicare, are credible coverage. But you can call your HR, and they should be able to. No one at the company seems to know, and Medicare does not either. Wow. That's how many people in your company? This small little 2 or 3 or 4 or 5? Can a Fed states income? Can a Fed AD state's income be deducted from Medicare payments and paid directly to IRS and state? Is that a federal state's income deducted from Medicare payments? Can you deduct Medicare payments? Yeah. So 200 people in your company? Yeah, I'm almost sure that, yeah, it sounds like it's, I've never, I've signed hundreds of thousands of people up for Medicare during the special enrollment period. And basically, all it is you get those 2 forms, the 564 and the 40B, which I've got a video on that. And you get those forms, and you give one of those to your HR employer, and they fill it out. And basically, it just says, yes, she did have health insurance from work, and her health insurance from work started at this particular time, and it ended at this particular time. And yeah, I'm almost 99.9% sure that yours is covered. So I wouldn't sweat it. John, I'm asking a friend. Yeah, John, I answered you in chat there. And so it doesn't sound like people that pass away young, obviously, if, we used to get a lot of people in, unfortunately, too many car accidents or something. You have a, 25-year-old kid that passes away and he had, one or two children. And the children are able to get benefits, and you say, wait a second, that person obviously didn't work 10 years. But Social Security does a different calculation for young people. So I'm not exactly sure how old that person is. If they're in their 20s and 30s, then I would probably have her file and see. And it's always good if she's going to be looking for other benefits as well to take care of the kids and other type of state benefits or something like that. They will need that determination by Social Security. So if she applies to Social Security and she's denied, then keep that letter, and that way when she goes to other places for help, they'll immediately say, well, we need you to jump through these hoops, and one of those hoops that we need you to jump through is to get see if you're eligible for other benefits. So I would highly recommend that she does, and if again, if he's young enough, she just might get benefits. You don't necessarily have to have the 10 years. Okay, let's see. Oops, meant Social Security. Can income tax be deducted from Medicare payments and paid directly to the IRS? Yeah, I'm still not understanding the question there. All right, Lisa, in a CDR now, Social Security is contacting friends and family, not hearing anything. Where can I see what's going on? Yeah, I can't really. Yeah, there's no place. They don't put it in there's no computer system or anything like that that you can see what's going on. It's all basically paper and internal computer systems. So yeah, you just have to wait, unfortunately. So Social Security has been contacting. It's probably the DDS. That's the agency, the state agency that makes the medical determination for Social Security. So it's probably the state DDS that might be reaching out to friends and family. They don't do that very often. So let's see here. All right, I'm working now, 63, plan on retiring in the next few months, moving and working a few days. Do they count how much you made this year before retiring towards how much you make after you retire? Yes and no. Lisa, no, I wouldn't be worried. I did a video on that about the CDRs, and people freak out about that. You just give the information, be truthful, give them all the information, and then don't worry about it. Sometimes they work it, sometimes they don't. So, all right. So the 63, good question. Got a video on that. Yes. So you're talking about early retirement. And so there's two things, whatever you pay into Social Security, if it's one of your high 35 years, then yes, it will affect your benefit. It'll increase your benefit amount. Again, if what you work this year is one of your high years, it'll increase your benefit amount. Number two is what I think you're probably asking is in terms of the annual earnings limit. No. The annual earnings limit is only relevant once you start collecting Social Security benefits. So if you start your benefits next month in March and you made $1 million last month and this month, January and February, that $1 million doesn't count toward your yearly earnings limit. And if you made $1 million, please click on the little thanks button there and buy me a coffee. Or a plantation. So yeah, it's only when you start working and collect benefits at the same time, that's when the annual earnings limit, everything, that's when that is relevant. But before that, no. So, and if you retire early and then decide, 6 months down the line, like I did, well, this retirement thing's not for me. Let me go see what else I can do, get in other kind of trouble I can get into. Then you just, you can stop your payments. So once you early retire and you say, well, I can never work again until I reach my full retirement age, that's not correct. You can't. You just tell Social Security to stop your benefits. And then later on, when you restart your benefits at your full retirement age, that's automatically recalculated. So if you take your benefits 30 months early, but then you go back to work for 10 months, once you hit your full retirement age, they recalculate everything, and then they reduce your benefit by 20 months. So there's that. Let's see what else here. I'm also doing TikTok at the same time, playing around with TikTok. Yeah, there's maybe too many young people for TikTok, but anyway. All right, another question. I want to ask a question about me being approved on SSI. Last week, I wanted to know if I could receive $1,600 lump sum instead of a 3. Also, the first payment, is it a third? Okay, so, all right, so you're going to receive a lump sum. So you were approved SSI, that's the needs-based, welfare-based program. And then you were approved for SSI, and they're going to give you a lump sum check because it took them forever and a day to approve your disability, I assume. And then, yeah, usually if you have some, you can, talk to the claim specialist, the SSI claim specialist that's working your case, and you can make a case yourself and say, y'all usually do the break it up into 3, but I need all of it at once because of X, Y, or Z, right? I need to buy a new car. I owe this person money. I've got debts or whatever the case may be. And yeah, you can absolutely request a lump sum. All right, let's see if we got anything more on. All right, let's see here. You're welcome. I'm 63 and could it be due for CDR between 64 and 60? Never worked since disability at 59. Yeah, I mean, it really depends what the adjudicator that approved your disability case when you were 59, what they determined, when the CDRs, every year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, never. But yeah, once you get closer to your full retirement age, then yeah, usually, they don't waste their time with a CDR because it costs money to do the CDR and do all the stuff. So usually they just kind of punt on that one. Yeah, so if it comes, it comes. Yeah, I did a video on that, and yeah, people are kind of worrying a little bit too much about CDRs. Watch my video on that, and I'm sure everybody out there that's watching right now has already set up a personalized playlist on my website, mygovexpert.com, and then if you put in there that you're receiving disability, the videos on CDRs will pop up, and you just watch those. And yeah, I wouldn't stress. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of you taking care of yourself by stressing about CDRs when probably nothing will ever happen. So, all right, let's see here. What else? Applying for Medicare savings plan as well. Should I know something other than when applying? By the way, I'm very much watching the video. Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, the Medicare savings plan. Oh, a lot of people don't know about that. That's why another reason I'm trying to get these videos out there, more people. So please share and like and comment and, click thanks and a couple of bucks, appreciate it. And I get these videos out there. I want to get more people to get these videos. And that's one of the reasons is Medicare Savings Plan, the program. So basically, you have Medicare, and obviously if you're receiving SSI, then $170 a month and $180 next year, whatever, that's a chunk of change. And Medicaid offices throughout the country, Medi-Cal in California, different names, but they have a program. It's a state federal program where they will pay for your Medicare Part B premium and give you other benefits as well. So you can get zero deductible for doctors and hospitals, and prescriptions become so much cheaper, if not free. There's different levels of Medicaid, and it really depends on your particular state. Some states a little bit cheaper than other states, and you know the deal there. So yes. And then when you get so you'll have Medicare and Medicaid. My fingers there. A lot of people don't realize that you can get Medicare and Medicaid. And then when you have both, then you can also get, which I usually don't recommend, is the Medicare Advantage plans, but in terms of people that have Medicare and Medicaid, then then you can get a dual plan, and you can give us a call. Go onto the website, give us a call, and I can have one of the people on my team find out what plan is the best in your area, and a lot of other benefits there. So that's so you can have Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare Advantage. We might be able to get you some, depending on your area, some more benefits, or possibly some money in your pocket. So it's a beautiful thing. So you can watch my video on where that money comes from, but basically, long story short, you've already paid for it. All those decades you paid in FICA taxes, it's out there floating around. Now it's your turn to go out there and grab it. All right, let's see here. Already on the Medicare for savings. Okay, good. So you already signed up for Part D, the low income subsidy. Good. So if you already have the low income subsidy, the extra help with prescription drugs, then it should be far easier for you to get the Medicare savings plan. So once you get set up with that, give us a call, and we'll see if we can get anything else for you. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Somebody said once you get the money coming in, they'll donate. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Can I have the SS check the suspense file to see if anything is there, especially if you don't have a company? I think I saw this comment some other place. I responded to that one. It might have not been in you, but anyway. You don't need the company ID. The Social Security employee, if they're worth their weight, they'll be able to find it. It's the EIN, Employer Identification Number, and it's easy to find the Employer Identification Number. So Social Security has all of those records in very good detail. So let me respond to a chat here on someone watching. They ask, many 63 plus are moving overseas. Yes, a lot of, I'm going to do a video on that. One is a YouTuber said he only retained Part B. He is, I think, 71 years old, walks everywhere. Is this wise what he did? I know none of us knows what physical issues await. My response is yes, I would keep Part B at the very least, because you never know what's going to happen. Or did I mean to say Part A? I would keep Part A and B. All right. Would it be a good idea to go to see my Social Security office and look over the work record they have? I really dug through it with my fine-tooth comb. Yeah, but you can also go on to ssa.gov and set up an account there and see if see if there's any incorrect things. But if something just doesn't make sense, or you've got a question and you want a little bit more information, then yeah, Social Security. I commented on this yesterday. I still remember all the crazy acronyms. There's billions of acronyms of the foreign with the federal government. But there's it's called a DQI and a CQI, where basically it's your work throughout your life. So a simple thing, the CQI is just kind of a simple, where it just says the year, 1982, $26,000, 1991, $50,000, whatever the case may be. A DQI is the detailed earnings query, a detailed record, where it says 1982, you made $25,000, but it says, you worked for Caterpillar and the address for Caterpillar is this, and the EIN for Caterpillar is this, and you pay this much into FICA and this much into, it's very, very detailed. And so if you look at kind of the less detailed one online and you want more detail because you think it's wrong for a particular year, then you can go down to Social Security. One of the things to be careful of is all the new Social Security employees out there, they, unfortunately are new employees. They'll be trained. It takes a couple of years to get trained. But if you go into a Social Security office and say you want your work history, if you just walk in there one day and says, yeah, I want my work history. One of the things is that person might misinterpret you, because in our office, we used to get all the time with people wanting to apply for like Metropolitan Police Department. And as part of their background security checks, they have to check that person's background for security. And so they were required to go down to Social Security and get a work history. And because that is not the job of Social Security to do that type of thing, Social Security charges for it. Congress decided that, we're going to charge for that. That's not something, we're not giving out a Social Security card. We're not issuing retirement benefits. This is something that you need for your personal thing. So so they Social Security charges like over $100 for a piece of paper. It's crazy. So if you go in there and ask for your work history because you want to check it out to make sure your benefit is correct, tell them that it's program related. Say those words, program related. And because they'll say, okay, you'll have to have a cashier check for $150 or whatever crazy thing it is now for 10 years. A couple $100 for 20 years. It's crazy. But tell them, no, it's free because it's program related. And so be careful of that. All right, what other? Can I take survivor benefit, which is lower at 62, and switch to my Social Security, which is higher? Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's a good strategy. So I would go in there and Steve, thanks for all your information. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Go in there and when you file for survivor benefits, have the employee also, do your retirement and tell you how much your retirement benefits are going to be. And then, that way you've got the numbers right there in front of you so you can make a well-informed final decision. But if you already know, basically, oh yeah, it's definitely a survivor, I definitely want to wait till 70, then yep, that's a good strategy. Let's see, I have both Medicare and Medicaid, but I started my SSN based on what I'm receiving, which is more than 1,800 average. So if I can't afford a supplement. If you have both Medicare and Medicaid, if you're receiving over 1,800, it depends what state you are. Most states you won't be able to get Medicaid if you're over $1,500 or so. It really depends on the state. So many variables. So just kind of be careful of that. They might cut you off if they find out you're receiving $1,800. Yeah, supplement. Are there any good Advantage plans? As you see in all my videos, I always recommend Medicare supplement plans if you can afford them. And Medicare Advantage plans, if you know the future, because in a lot of those Medicare Advantage plans are 0 premium per month. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you know for sure that you're going to live the next 50 years and you're never going to get sick, Medicare Advantage plans 100% the way to go, hands down, because you know you're not going to get sick, and so why pay anything extra if you're not going to get sick? Just get checkups and stuff. But if something does happen, then Medicare supplements actually might be cheaper in the long run, even though there's a monthly premium of 70, 80, 90, 100, $200 or whatever it is, depending on your particular state and your age and everything. So yeah, I always recommend Medicare supplements because I can tell you from working for Social Security for a few decades and seeing everything that's happened to people and life is what happens while you're making other plans, as they say. So yeah, you never know. So if you can afford a Medicare supplement plan, I would start off with a plan N. I'd think about that one first, a little bit cheaper per month, and then a plan G. So either one of those, perfectly fine. Again, give us a call, and I can have one of my team check out exactly what you have in your area, give you your options, and we can get you all signed up. It's no extra charge. It's if you call the whatever $1 billion insurance company and sign up directly with them. It's the same exact as if you sign up with any broker or anybody in the country. We can help you get enrolled as well. So just give us a call, and if we don't pick up, leave a message, and we will take care of it. In terms of for me personally, answering, I used to enroll people in Medicare and all that kind of good stuff, but I'm focusing more on answering questions because there's not many people that got the experience. So I figured I'd do that, and so I'm leaving Medicare's enrollments to my team. But if you have questions on all things Social Security, do exactly what we're doing right now. I'm going to be going live at least once a week, as long as my health and my hair hold out. Okay, well, all right, strike that last part. Yeah, so if you got questions, then join the live. But again, remember, 90% of the questions people asked are already answered in the playlist. So make sure you go to mygovexpert.com. I spent quite a bit of my retirement funds on that website. It's crazy how expensive those things are. It'll give you'll set up a playlist, and you answer a few questions. People ask, why are you asking how much is my yearly income? Because I don't want to show you welfare type, programs if you're making over $100,000 a year. So the playlist will be determined on a lot of variables, where you live and what type of benefits you're receiving, survivor, retirement, disability, what type of health insurance you have. So there's only about 5 questions. I took out the phone number. Some people already signed up and they put their phone number in. I deleted the phone number because, I'm not going to call you. But I do need the email, and that way in the future, if anything changes, I can just email you, but we're not going to email you that much anyway. Yeah, but set up an account, and most of the questions are answered in that one. So in terms of, super long story short, good Advantage plans, number one thing is, again, give us a call, and we'll be able to search in your particular area for a good one. And there is no best one. There is just the best for you. So what happens is you tell us what doctors you want to keep and then what your prescriptions are. And then we'll have one of our people look at all the plans in your area, the dozens probably of plans in your area, and give you your options and say, okay, for your doctors and your prescriptions, these are the one that covers as many doctors as available in the network, and these are the ones that are cheaper in terms of your prescriptions. And then the following year, starting October, if that plan starts going down, one of the problems is a lot of people with Medicare Advantage, they say, well, I've got my plan and I'm good. It's not like Medicare supplement. When you get a Medicare supplement, pretty much you get it, you enroll, and you're good pretty much for the rest of your life. One thing I would recommend, if you get a G plan, you want to save a little bit of money, you might be able to switch to an N plan and reduce your monthly premium a little bit. And yeah, give us a call and we'll go through what the differences are and see if we can save you any money there. But in terms of Medicare Advantages, everything, there's so many things on Medicare Advantages plans that changes every year. All the kind of the hidden stuff, you don't know it until you know it, until you fall down or get sick or something. You're like, hey, wait, when I sign up for this Medicare Advantage plan, 2 years ago, it was zero for this. It was, $10 for this. Well, they change and they send you the annual notice of change in September, but unfortunately a lot of people don't check that. It's typical bureaucratic, so much information, so we kind of skip it. So yeah, so make sure you check on those on a regular basis, and again, give us a call and we can have somebody help you out. All right, let's see. 58 years old, 100% PNT veteran, retired law enforcement officer at the ALJ stage, SSD. I suffer from my chances. Yeah, it's hard to say. A lot of people think that when they're receiving veterans benefits that it's a slam dunk for Social Security, but I had quite a few. I hired a lot of veterans in my office. I'm old Marine Corps sergeant myself, so I hired a lot of veterans in my office, and I think pretty much 80-90% of the veterans I hired had some level of disability, but they were still able to work. So yeah. So that's Social Security disability and veteran disability is completely different. But yeah, it just, again, from my personal experience doing this, a few 100,000 times, you're at the ALO stage, ALJ stage. Usually the administrative law judges have a lot more latitude. So I hate to say, one way or the other, but it's a good chance. Yeah, but I can't tell you for sure. All right, let me go back to, I got some more questions on YouTube chat. January 3rd, I went to the local office to find out what my survivor benefits would be. I received a printout and decided to take my February retirement month. I went to make it official February 9th and was quoted a lower amount. Is there anything I can do? Let me see, BK. You can request a recount. So they said the estimate turned out to be a little bit different than the actual benefit amount, and that's unfortunately common. Your number is not your number until you take a claim. So your benefit amount is not a benefit amount. Even when you go on to ssa.gov, that's an estimate. And when you go to the Social Security Administration and they give you that colorful benefit matrix thing that they print off, that's an estimate. So it's 100%, it's not definitive until they actually take a claim and tell you at that time. So let's see, Lulu, does Medicare pay for home health when one does not qualify for Medicaid? Yes. Let's see here. In some circumstances. So they asked, is home health care, person does not have Medicaid and want to know whether Medicare pays for home health care. And it's interesting, yeah, for stuff like that, you need a prescription. You think of prescription and you think, a prescription for drugs. But yeah, and a lot of Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements and stuff like that, You can also get a prescription for, I need I need a ramp, for my wheelchair, or I need a wheelchair, or I need, something in my tub to, whatever. Then, yeah, you can get the doctor to give a prescription so it is approved. So there's that. Okay, let's see here. Got T program related one. Okay, got it. City government don't pay into Social Security. Yeah, some 2, 3, 4% of city, state, county workers do not pay into Social Security. Federal employees in the old system didn't pay into Social Security, but that kind of changed in the 1980s. And yeah, so that's a system that's just those are. My Social Security office was in an area that didn't pay into Social Security. The state and the federal, the state and the city employees didn't pay into Social Security, and nobody understood why the whole system. So people would have just crazy misunderstandings about that whole thing. Yeah, it's yeah. And I'm always, unfortunately, the bearer of bad news, aka the truth. And so I tell them, okay, well, here's the reality of the situation. But when you're told one thing your entire life, and then someone comes along and tells you something completely different, they just don't believe it. Oh, that's a nice theory. I was like, you understand, I ran the third busiest Social Security office in the country, and I've dealt with these type of things hundreds of thousands of times. So I kind of, but as in the Marine Corps, we used to call those barracks lawyers. So people want to believe the information they want to believe. So what are you going to do? All right, Shauna, what's up? I'm on SSI. I've been paying my grandma, original homeowner. She's 91, rent for my portion of the bills, but she has now put the house in my name, so I will have a roof over my head when she passes, and I will be responsible for all bills and taxes, which change how much I get per month. Let's see. So SSI, that's awesome, nice of her. So I've been paying my grandpa rent for porch. So yeah, it looks like the total amount of money out of your pocket might actually increase because you may be paying it all yourself, or you're still joining together. So I would definitely because when you're on SSI, you have the RZ, the recertification, once every 6 months, every year, where they go through and make sure you didn't hit the $1 billion lottery, and if you did, click the little thanks button and appreciate it. Every little bit helps. But if something changed that changed, like this particular situation, I would call them up and tell them, and tell so you're going to call and talk to an SSI claim specialist and tell them you want to do an RZ, and they'll say, wow, how'd you know that? Anyway, that you want to do an RZ, and tell them that because it takes forever. So if something like that changes, Social Security, the government will eventually find out, but they find out, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, and then they come back and they say, okay, give us back all that $100,000 we gave you because of one stupid thing that you could have fixed. So always be preemptive in those cases, because they'll find out eventually, and it's just kind of take the Band-Aid off now and tell them what the situation is, and tell them still paying the same exact amount, and just go into a different route. So, and make sure they're nice to you. If they're not nice, tell them Ed says be nice. Let's see here. Adopted annual blood test, mistakenly forgot to bill Medicare. Now Quest sent it to me collection after constant calls to the doctor office. I was told they're on it, not today any bill, what to do. Yeah, just if they mistakenly forgot to send it to Medicare, then yeah, you just have to keep up on them. And yeah, that unfortunately happens more often than it should. But yeah, just keep up on them. If you don't have them, yeah, I don't think I would. I mean, obviously it's a blood test. It's not like, something crazy that they're not going to approve. So, all right. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Can you rub beans? No, extra dollars. Oh, yeah. On this one right here, it's always crazy. People kind of showing up. I think there's an anime somewhere being played. So those kids with the crazy comments, go watch Dragon Ball or something. Do I have to wait till I leave my current full-time job to apply for Social Security? Like, I don't want to be retired, or how does it work? Yeah. So if you have your full-time job for retirement, so if you're going to stop, working next month, 2 months, 3 months down the line, then yeah, you can go ahead and file now, usually about 3 months in advance, and say, I'm currently working now, but the month after next, I am going to stop working. So, and then you can start your benefits at that time. But again, you have to stay under the annual earnings limit for that month going forward. All right, we got all kinds of crazy kids here showing up. All right. Help is amazing. So grateful. Appreciate it. All right, another question here on the chat. I will start collecting payment from a 503B, and withdrawals will be subject to GPO. When I've been collecting, will future COLAs be calculated? Yes. All COLAs are calculated automatically. Should I file online and not go to the local Social Security office? Have you heard? No, that's yeah, online is fine. Yep. Just make sure you're filing. One of the things that people get retirement in their head, and then they go file for retirement, which obviously. But sometimes, okay, should I file for retirement and disability at the same time, or should I file for disability, or should I file for survivor benefits, or should I file for spouse benefits? So yeah, just make sure you're filing for the correct program, and then if you know for sure you are, then do it to it. If you're not 100% sure, then yeah, you can call the Social Security and set up an appointment and talk to an actual human being. When I apply for widow's benefits, will I receive the whole amount or half? Yeah, it's it depends on how old you are. If you're your full retirement age, then you'll receive the full benefit amount of what that person was receiving. So thanks for all you do. I appreciate it. Combat wounded vet on Social Security disability, 100 VA rate of explosion, 15. I wanted to try working out. I'm at 55 while I lose my benefits. Can I regain at 65? Yeah, if you're on disability, thanks you for your service. If you're on disability, you have a trial work period, TWP. So you can try to work for 9 months, and if you're able to, and you're able to continue, then you say, hey, I'm going to continue to working, and you can shut off your disability benefits and restart your retirement when you're 67 or whatever the case may be. So you have a trial work period that's for 9 months. So basically, you can make $1 million a month for 9 months, and then after that, you run into what's called an EPE, extended period of eligibility. So for 36 months, if you go over, it's like what, 1150 or so this year. If you go over that amount, then you don't get your check, and for the month that you go over the amount. And the EPE thing is, yeah, it's Social Security seems to always mess that up. So super long story short is, yep, you certainly can. All right, we got more otaku kids chiming in here. All right, otaku kids, what is the last name of Hello Kitty? Maybe that'll satisfy them. And thank you, sir. All right, thank you. right. All right, looks like the my video is finished. And